I said I wasn't gonna drop a review this week, but here I am. I'm consistent every week, so y'all hit that sub button for your boy, share the video, and let's jump right into it. So we begin from where we left off with Dumas, Kun, and Rack. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I'm annoyed by Rack trying to fight Dumas. Like, come on, bro. Let's be real here. But Kun knows the situation and immediately tries to take off, but he can't figure out why Dumas is attacking, but not necessarily blitzing him how we all expect him to be. But as Rack throws a spear, we get the explanation from Dumas, which I already figured it would be a leverage play. Oh, big surprise. Dumas' intention was to troll Kun and Rack until Bomb shows up so that he can capture Bomb. And it actually ended up working with Bomb starting to head towards their direction. But as they continue to go on, Kun ends up figuring it out, like, oh, he's trying to manipulate us, and we got to figure out a way to stop Dumas. But what can you do? If you decide to run too fast or try anything, Dumas is really going to blitz you. But then Wee Wee comes in, and I didn't know we were ever introduced to him, but that's this guy's name, and it seems like Kun has a shining light here, but this man immediately forfeits everything over to Dumas. Like, here, take my piece, I don't want no smoke. And then he even says he'll betray Trom to help Dumas. I'm like Kun in the situation, like, bro, why are you so willing to do it? But he says he don't want to fight no more, and his family here is basically gone. So then it seems like Kun and Rack are stuck in place, but he ends up coming to a quick-witted plan to make Rack the king. And this throws Dumas and Wee Wee into a frenzy, like, well, is he the king or is he not the king? He ends up telling them, well, if you guys join forces, then that would mean Trump wins, and if Trump wins, then it's GG for you. So before even giving them time to process what he just said, Kun ends up throwing Rack overboard. But Dumas, being a genius, peeped that he was lying. But Wee Wee went for the chase, and in a funny moment, Rack remembers that he can fly. So Rack ends up getting away with Dumas and Kun being left alone. But then Dumas not going for that. Kun ends up telling Dumas that, well, I'm the actual king, showing him a piece and everything, and says that, well, you have to protect me, otherwise it's GG. So now we're in a weird leverage situation where Kun has leverage over Dumas, and he's going to use his strength for whatever. Now, we transition over to Rack running away from Wee Wee, which is another weird situation where it's a high ranker versus a regular, but he's trying to figure out how to capture Rack, I guess, without hurting him. And right before he does that, Ranshut appears. And again, I don't think we were introduced to Ranshut, but let me just say one thing. Lobopia women are flame, bro. Like, god dang. First it was Purr and Elaine, now we got Ranshut. Whoo! Anyway, but Ranshut ends up popping up, and Wee Wee, gives him the quick low key, like, capture him, he's the king. And right before she could do that, Bomb pops in to save the day, of course, saving his regular friends again. He ends up telling Ranshut, like, yeah, we can betray Trom if we hand these two over, which is crazy to me, but we'll get to that. And we get a very nice spread out panel with them getting ready for their fight. And it looks like we're gonna have a nice 2 versus 1.5 situation where, yes, Rack is a 0.5 because he's not a whole person in this fight, and scene. So yeah, you guys heard what I said. Rack is a 0.5. He does not belong in this situation, but I gotta address some stuff, guys, because I said I would, and this chapter kind of drew it out of me. I am tired of this whole situation with Kun and Rack and the regulars, even Andrasi, where they just don't measure up in these situations. Now, Kun's ability to use his brain actually works in these situations. So while he's never been the strongest, he can use his brain to be relevant. But Rack is completely irrelevant, guys. And I'm going to harp on both of them, but let's address some things, right? So I know some of you guys are conveniently forgetting that, hey, well, see you story, he can make it how he wants, we don't have to scale this, scale that. Guys, from the beginning of time, Tower of God has shoved down our throats the ranking system. And that everything has a rank. There's a tier list to who's stronger than who. That's what the series was built on, because people love ranking and power scaling. So Tower of God is one of the series who's used that to its advantage. Now, with that being said, you cannot simply scrap that when it's convenient for you. No, I understand. See your story. I'm not allowed to say stuff like that. When you write a story like this, you are supposed to structure it in a way where you don't have the convenient device that kills most series, which is plot armor, because that's what a lot of people are saying right now. Plot armor this, plot armor that. They should be dead. If this was 5 years ago where we are in season 2, these guys would be dead. And I agree, but all of a sudden, people aren't blitzing people. People aren't showing their true power. I mean, just think about when they got off the train station, how Caliban was basically diffing everybody. That's the situation we should be in because they're still regulars. So I have to use like One Piece as an example, right? Because Tower God is my One Piece. When you see Luffy in the War of the Best, right? Nobody really considered him a threat because there's all these big names around. But Luffy was dangerous because his ability to draw people in, and he had some hidden talents. Now, that's the same thing kind of Kun is doing now, where he has a big brain, which is a hidden talent, and he can use that. However, when Luffy came across people like Kaido, he got diffed, okay? Absolutely destroyed the first time he came around. And that's what should be happening to Rack right now. I mean, he has no power here. I mean, of course, we know that Rack has the Ancient One, right? But we have not expanded upon that in years. So there's no way to use that. It would have been great to throw it in there in desperate situations, but it's never been there. This is what I mean where we're in a 2v1.5 situation because honestly, Rack shouldn't be here. Now, what's Rack going to do? Sit in the back and throw spears while Bomb absolutely carries this fight? And I would really, really, really hate for this to turn into a temporary buff where Bomb's able to buff Rack and it makes him temporary high ranker level. That's garbage, bro. Or he pops out some of his Ancient One power all of a sudden. That's also garbage, bro. That's just convenient stuff. That's just convenient stuff. It's convenient writing. We have not seen any Ancient One content in years, okay? We haven't seen Bomb have the ability to give power ever. So what does Rack do in this situation? Well, he's going to get carried. His only way is to get carried unless somebody else intervenes and, mismatches the fight. But this is not okay, man. I don't like this situation. I don't like how Rack is being treated. And that's kind of where people are complaining about the series. Imagine if Rack did pop out some of his Ancient One powers right now. Bro, there are so many different things going on right now. Everybody forget we're supposed to be having a chess match right now. The thing that's been hyped up for the last 6 months. The actual match between the Lobo Pia head and the Pobidu head. And this has been happening. So we got all these other plots and now we're going to throw some Ancient One stuff in there. The only reason that Kun and Rek are alive right now is their relation to Bomb. And that's okay to an extent though. Because here's the problem, right? Bomb's growth rate has been ridiculous, and I get it, guys. He's an irregular. Yes, he's supposed to grow at a nasty rate. But Bomb's growth is different from other irregulars' growth because Bomb is given stuff, okay? Red Dresser, Blue Dresser, Black March. Everything has been given to him, okay? So Bomb hasn't necessarily trained to get stronger. Of course, he's done that multiple times. But I'm saying the majority of his staggering abilities is stuff that's been given to him. You could do the same thing for the supporting cast, in which we got a little bit of that with White's souls transferring to Kun and Rack. And as we see, Rack finally flew this chapter. But you can also give us more with the Ancient One with Rack. We can see little by little by little him unlocking more of its ability or something of that nature. I mean, all Kun has is the Firefish. It's like their ability to grow as fighters has significantly dropped off. And how do you fix that? I mean, I've been meaning to do a separate video about this for a long time, but this chapter has just made it glaringly obvious to me. And again, what do you do to fix this? Well, you could take away Bomb's thorns. That would be a great thing. Rachel somehow used her wishes to take away Bomb's thorns. That would make Bomb at least advance ranker level. Because as we've seen, Bomb needs his thorns to attack most branch heads. I mean, even El Baba, he had to pop the thorn to do significant damage to him. And we see it this chapter. He has to pop the thorn. So if we take it away, does that drop Bomb down significantly? Maybe to advance to ranker level? Yeah, that makes things a little bit closer. But we cannot properly scale Rack if he's going to continue to be carried by Bomb. I don't know if people realize this. We can't scale them. We don't know if Rack's ranker level. We've seen him destroy Holland Shinua. Yeah, that happened one time with Bomb there. But if Bomb's not there, what use is Rack? Okay? Like, Bomb is the safety net every time. And I'm literally just tired of it. I really am. So I know that's most people's problems right now. And for those of you who naysay scaling, I get it. But the series is built on that, bro. It really is. So people have the right to have a gripe with it. But that's all I have to say about that. Continuing on with the chapter. Can we talk about how Ranchet and Wee Wee quickly betrayed Trom? Now, this is really diving into something else now, guys. Trom said he believes the nature of people betraying him, right? There's got to be more to it then it's simply happening, right? How does two branch heads immediately go to betray their family head? That seems nuts to me when you see somebody like Dumas going crazy for Gustang. How is it that they're willing to give it all up so fast? Like, the war is not over. They still have decent amount of forces. Why give up so quickly? Is it something in their blood? Is there something in the contract that's made them this way? There's no way I can believe that everybody's like this in the Lobopia family. But Trom seems to know this, so you guys let me know what you think about that. I thought it was insane how fast they were willing to betray Trom. As far as the chapter goes, my predictions are, I'm not sure what Kuhn's going to do with Dumas. Obviously, he can use him for the Killing Chess Piece game, but I don't know if he can do anything really significant with him. But I guess we'll see. As far as the 2v2 goes, again, I think Bomb's just going to carry the fight. I'm not sure what the Rat can do here, but it's going to happen. Hopefully we get a POV switch, because this felt like really closed in as a chapter. Yes, like, we know where everybody is in terms of like Bomb's crew, but it's, yeah, I want to see where Tiara and Andraste are. So chapter's a 5.5 out of 10 for me. Bomb's panels were really nice, and the double spread was pretty great. But other than that, I really don't like the direction with certain things and where things are headed. So Thursday, 1 o'clock p.m., you guys know where to find me. I'll be there, and hopefully you'll be there too. Till then, see you in the Discord.